Well, good evening, everybody. Matt Minder here, APT Thursday Night 9. It is a Christmas break edition. Some people bring in the backup squad when we do this, but we brought in the professionals this week. We got Chuck Nance, Radio Pro, and Chris Isom. So we got a superstar studded lineup tonight. So how are you doing, Chuck?
Doing good. Just my son and I went and played Pinehurst number 10 today. Hadn't seen that one. I missed the media day last spring, and it is spectacular.
I got to be honest, I'm a little jealous. Chris and I are sitting here in Central Illinois where it is cold and beautiful. No even thoughts of playing golf for like the last couple of weeks. And you're out playing golf today.
Well, you got to get back to God's country, man. We play golf year round down here, and what's really cool is Pinehurst. You would think that with it being around Christmas time that it would be busier than it was, and number 10 right now is only open for play if you're staying at the resort. We were able to do it because one of my son's good friends works there. And so he was able to get us on. And you would have loved it, Matt. Literally, there was a twosome that teed off in front of our foursome, and they let us play through on number 4. And we walked Pinehurst number 10, didn't wait on a shot, and we finished in 355.
We can't beat that.
No, can't. We were like, you got to be pinching me. We're playing a Pinehurst resort course, and we're finishing in under 4 hours walking. I mean, spectacular.
That is really good. That's got to be fun, getting to hang out
Best.
with those guys. So one day the APT will be back at Pinehurst. So
That would be. It's funny you bring that up because as I was playing 10 today, because 10 is a little different from some of the others. It is very, very wide open off the tee, enormous fairways, and it's a big piece of property. But there's water only comes into play, I would say, 3 to 4 times on the whole golf course. And so it would be a really, really good course for an APT tournament. Great course.
Interesting. That is good to know. Well, we'll get into some great courses that APT's hosting events at this year. But it's Thursday night 9. We got 9 big topics to let you cover. A couple of local events this weekend. Forecast getting better. I know for Upstate, the Club at Brookstone Championship. For a while there, the lows were looking a little iffy for the weekend, but it looks like the weather's getting better. And Atlanta's hosting another event. So still events to play in late December here on the APT. We're excited about that. But other than that, we got to jump straight in. Chris is monitoring pace of play. That's how Thursday night 9 works. Chuck, I think you and I will be able to keep on pace better than Fegley and myself. I won't say why that is.
You already said it, Fegley.
Poor Fegley. He's probably watching, on his Delta flight across the country right now. He's probably tuned in. We'll see him on the cell phone here in a minute. I don't know how the guy gets video on a flight across the country, but who knows? We'll jump right into hole number 1. That's membership, which is exciting. Membership, people ask all the time. Got a couple questions today. He goes, how's your membership looking for 2025? Well, the answer is a lot better than 2024, and 2024 is an awesome year at the APT. No, Chuck, we just a couple weeks ago, we were at the Myrtle Beach Holiday Classic. Yes. Sold out field, had a great time, even though there was a frost delay, which is very rare in Myrtle Beach. I think I've seen one of those like 3 times in my life.
Yeah, that first week in December, you can get a frost delay at Myrtle Beach, or we can be in shorts. You just never know the year.
Yeah, it's always fun, but man, Caledonia True Blue is great, isn't it?
Oh, no trip. We're spoiled because we're down at Myrtle Beach running events, and so we're down there all the time, and we've played Caledonia and True Blue a bunch. But it really, if you're going to make a trip to the Grand Strand, whatever else you do, take 2 days or take 1 day and play Caledonia and True Blue. You just have to.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, the Monday event at Heritage, like obviously we played it for the North American Championship. Right. It was the first time I'd actually got to play the golf course in a long time. I rode around a few times.
Sneaky tough golf course.
Place is so good.
Yep.
It's so good. Just absolutely had a blast. And one of the fun things, about APT membership, people ask all the time, they want to know if I join in, St. Louis, can I go to Charlotte and play golf tournaments?
Yep.
Absolutely. And you get your points, which makes it fun. The most flexible membership option of any AM tour because of that, right? Most AM tours that you play on, you play in your chapter and you get points in your chapter, and you play out of your chapter, you don't get any points. Our system's designed so you get points wherever you play, which is fun, which allows you to do a lot of cool things. I know you get to do some traveling between Charlotte and Myrtle Beach.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you already mentioned Upstate. That's Larry Lee's group. I played stuff with them, and the Triad group. I played a bunch of stuff with them. And what's great is you bounce to all these different areas. You get to meet a bunch of new guys, and then you meet up, and hey, come play with us at the beach. Come play with us in Charlotte. And so it's great.
No, absolutely. Well, the new thing about membership this year, for everybody to know that's just tuning in, membership is now 365 days long. So if you sign up on December 25th, it's good through December 24th of the following year. Little Christmas reference there, but lots of good things there. So you get a full year membership whenever you sign up, and a lot of new membership benefits this year that are really good. $50 to globalgolf.com, which you can literally get anything golf related that you would ever want. We give you $50 to spend there at globalgolf.com, plus $50 in the APT Pro Shop through the new digital membership card that we've got going this year. Have you downloaded that yet, Chuck? I'm putting you on the spot. I haven't asked you this.
No, I've had it sitting in my email forever. And I keep meaning to do it, and then I get sidetracked, but it will be done this week as I'm finally off work.
I totally understand that. Well, super easy to use. An easy way to keep all of the great APT membership benefits at your fingertips. I can't tell you how many emails we get every day. Hey, what's the code for Avis? What's the code for budget? How do I get my discount with 2 under? All of that stuff's now in one spot, the digital membership card, which is in your Apple wallet. And Chris, do you have a link to put up for that?
Yeah, I can grab a link for that.
Okay. Well, you're being super good at color commentary over here tonight, being super quiet.
See, everybody, this is how we know we've hit the bottom of the barrel. That means I'm on the live tonight.
Definitely not the bottom of the barrel. This is like the Christmas edition of Hannity, though. We got Chris on. We're bringing in the guest pro from Charlotte, Mr. Charlie Nance. I was listening to your podcast today, so.
Oh, okay. I was like, since when are you calling me Charlie?
Got on the podcast. It was like Charlie Nance here, and I'm like, who's Charlie?
Yeah, because it's funny you bring that up, because I've got to. I guess this weekend when I go in, maybe on Sunday, I will set the one that we recorded in Myrtle Beach, and that'll run this week.
Nice, very, very cool. So we got to ask you, is Charlie a stage name?
Yeah, it was one of these things. I've always been Chuck. That's my name, and I was Chuck all throughout my radio career until we came to Charlotte, and then for a variety of reasons that would be too long and sordid to go into right now, I couldn't be Chuck, and so Charlie was decided upon for me and given to me, and I thought I'd have more trouble with it than I have, and the one who I really thought would have trouble with it is my wife, who's my on-air partner. And she's had absolutely zero trouble with it. So, she could ignore me as Chuck. She can ignore me as Charlie. It's not a difference.
As long as the only place you have a stage name is the radio, we're good to go.
Right.
It is Myrtle Beach, though. No, I'm just kidding. Other thing to let you know, Chris puts in the notes. I'm trying to cover this. I'll let you talk a little bit about it. Do have to say a little congratulations to our buddy Daniel Henris, who cashed in on one of the membership benefits. So Chris, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we were down in Myrtle Beach, out at Caledonia for round one, our good friend Daniel Henris, that's been a member of the tour for a long time, hit a hole-in-one. Matt, was that hole 7?
Six at Caledonia. I hate that hole. I've never hit it within 20 yards of that green.
That's not an easy par 3. That's nice.
No, I think I've hit it on 18 fairway more than I've hit that green.
Here's the best part about this story. So I roll up. Dan's playing with your dad. I'm like, guys, how's things going? Your dad goes, well, he hit a hole-in-one, and he goes, I didn't even see it. Just stone cold. Didn't even see it, but it was in the hole.
Give me my money. Send me my check.
It was the most laid-back hole-in-one celebration that I've ever seen. But when you purchase your membership, you will be prompted about the Hole-in-One Club, $30 for the season. You get it's open for every event. It's something that I urge everybody to do. join the club. Matt, I think it's safe to say after last year's 2024 data, there was more people hit hole-in-ones that were not in the club that were.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You get prompted when you sign up for membership. You know, you get asked several other times throughout the year in the hole-in-one club. If you hit a hole-in-one, you didn't get in the hole-in-one club, don't send us a Venmo request for the money. We're not going to send it to you. You got to be a member to win. We love paying them out. So we've paid out quite a few in the last couple of years. Some really cool gifts too. So some new swag for the hole-in-one club that started at the end of the year last year. Definitely worth getting a hole-in-one. You're going to get a lot of cool bragging rights, some cash, some swag from Blue Tees Golf, and some couple really special gifts from the APT. So I definitely enjoy it. It was fun sending it for Daniel. He's going to love it. He should be getting that stuff in the mail here shortly. But with that being said, man, let's just jump into hole 2. And that's the Worldwide Golf Cactus Clash. Registration should open up January 2nd. I'm curious, Chuck, have you ever been out to TPC Scottsdale yet?
No, and in fact, I have a friend who lives in Scottsdale, and so that was one place on the travel docket this year that I'm really, really considering going out, because I've never played golf out there. The only desert golf I've ever played is Vegas, so I'd really like to play out in Arizona. I know that my buddy Jeff Helms went out there last year, and he raved about it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll be getting an Airbnb again, so you can get in on that.
Yeah.
So the key is if you're getting an Airbnb in Phoenix, get one with a pool. Free advice. So we utilized that thing a lot last year. But TPC Scottsdale is a great place, obviously host of one of the more famous tournaments, the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Everybody goes crazy about it. Everybody loves the stadium on 16, which, by the way, is the worst hole on that whole golf course, by the way. They just put
when you take the grandstands away, it's a nothing hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to most TPC courses. They put the stadium on the hole that's boring, and the holes in front of it and behind it are way better golf holes, but just not as many people can fit on it. So I was giving my good buddy, we were on with Jay Delsing for some St. Louis stuff yesterday we were shooting, and he actually has a hole-in-one in the Waste Management Open. But we always joke, it's like it was before the grandstands. So we're like, hey, did the 10 people cheer for you? And he tells the story back in the day, they would give away a car on tour, but it'd only be if you got a hole-in-one on Sunday, and his was on Saturday. So there's a beautiful car sitting there, and he didn't even win it because he got the hole-in-one on the wrong day. So talk about how tour life has changed.
Wow, that's I would say I'm surprised by that, but I'm not, having been around the tour all these years. But that's amazing that they only did it on Sundays.
Yeah, his caddy was super mad. I remember talking to him about it for a while on air there, and
because it was kind of tradition. The pros don't need a car. If they won the car, they would give it to the caddy.
Right.
And even still today with those things, they'll give it to the caddy.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Although if you're Scotty Scheffler's caddy, you make more than most tour players. So
I think Scotty Scheffler's caddy would have gotten his tour card this year.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
and he went to jail same time.
Yes.
So he's got Tiger. What do you got on me now? I said I copied your 2000 season for the most part and went to jail in the same year. So absolutely crazy fun. But 2 golf course out, TPC Scottsdale. If you think about coming, this will sell fast. Opens January 2nd for registration. Another opportunity to play great PGA Tour venue. APT majors are flooded with professional venues. That's one of the things you guys ask for. We've delivered. You got Kiowa that hosted the Ryder Cup, the PGA Championship. You've got Torrey Pines that's hosted U.S. Opens, hosts PGA Tour event every year. You've got PGA National that hosted the Honda Classic for years and years and years, and now TPC Scottsdale hosts the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Great chance to come out and play in prime time, a phenomenal golf course in Phoenix, and playing the Champions course, which I'll be honest, I like a little bit better layout wise than the stadium. So 2 courses there. Obviously, the stadium is the one on TV everybody loves, but the Champions course is a really, really fun and good golf course that's right next door. So Lots of fun out there. Hope to see you out there, Chuck. It's been a while. When your last major was what? Besides Myrtle Beach,
I was going to say 2 weeks ago.
I was going to say when we met at Tullamore in 22.
Well, you brought up the hole-in-one club, and I got to tell this story because my very first event was that major in Tullamore. And I forget what hole it was, but it was sort of a downhill par 3, huge green, group right in front of us. Dude holes out, goes bananas. We're like, man, that's great. Turns out he wasn't in the hole-in-one club, but that's not the end of the story. The group behind us, a dude hoops it. So he's not in the hole-in-one club. And wait, because neither one of them were able to cash in on the hole-in-one. That's not even the best part. They canceled each other out on the skins. So just a total loser hole all the way around because no one was in the hole-in-one club.
I remember that. That was awesome.
It was crazy.
For your hole-in-one, you get absolutely nothing because someone else in your division hit a hole-in-one on the same hole on the same day.
In fact, I think in classic APT fashion, you volunteered to take their picture next to a flag that the pro shop gave you. That's what you would give them for the hole-in-one, is a picture next to a flag.
I mean, it's $30 to get in the hole-in-one club, man.
What are we talking about here?
Right. So I'm 100% with you there. That is one of my favorite stories all time on tour.
I'll never forget it. First tournament, and when we found out about because we didn't know about the group behind us until we were almost done. I was playing with Jake Holmes, and someone came up and told Jay, and Jay just about fell out of the cart laughing. I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" He goes, "You're never gonna believe this."
Oh goodness, that is a lot of fun. That is for sure. I still remember those guys coming in, and of course they're all hiding because they didn't want to. They didn't want to be seen for the bar tab because they weren't getting anything.
No.
Net negative for the day. Welcome to Tullamore. Congrats on your hole-in-one, and here's your $200 bar tab that you guys can split. But no, that was good. Jumping in, keeping on moving. Hole 3, this is going to be fun. 2 events that I think are really, really good and underrated. 2 new venues for APT this year coming up. First is February 1st and 2nd. That's the APT Gulf Coast Classic at the Preserve in Biloxi. And none of our APT members, Chuck, none of them like to go to casinos. None of them like to gamble.
No, Christian Science reading rooms, they do. Casinos and gambling, they don't usually.
Correct. But so you got the casino, everything's good. You got this beautiful golf course. Chris has got pictures showing you just a very, very picturesque golf course, one of the top rated golf courses in the whole Gulf Coast region near Biloxi. February is a very mild time of year. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous golf course. A lot of fun to play. New venue for us. If you talk to any of the locals down there, they are very, very high on this property. And if you're up north and in February, like I know St. Louis, we have the Golf Expo that weekend. It is guaranteed to be snowing February 1st and 2nd in St. Louis. So it is so worth the drive to get down to Biloxi and be able to play golf without, 4 layers of clothes on.
Well, in Mississippi in February, much preferable than Mississippi in July. So good time to go to play golf in Mississippi in February.
Very, very true. The others return the Lone Star Shootout. Talk about that real quick. That's in Texas. You're a Texas boy. See, I'm getting used to all of these majors. So
where are you playing that?
Pine Dunes in Frankston. So it's probably an hour and a half from Waco?
Frankston.
You know where Tyler, Texas is?
Absolutely. East Texas,
20 minutes south.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, know exactly where. East Texas is heaven. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm saying March 8th and 9th. It's perfect spring break time. Pine Dunes just got voted the best value buddies trip in the country. Beautiful, beautiful golf resort. For a long time, it was rated the #1 golf course in Texas. If you know anything about Texas golf, if you've ever been rated the #1 public golf course in Texas, that is quite the accomplishment. So
there's some good tracks. So yeah, no, that's cool.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a Folds of Honor Friday 4-ball on that Friday. It's easy travel for you guys coming from the East Coast or the North. You fly into Dallas-Fort Worth. It's an hour drive out of town and into a nice little retreat. Average temperatures that weekend in Dallas are in the low 70s, which March 8th and 9th is another time. Like St. Louis, it could be 75, but it could also be 15.
Yeah.
Maybe not 15, probably like 30, but I'm exaggerating a little bit. But the point is great time to get south to Texas. Texas golf's a lot of fun.
Yeah, East Texas should be depending on how the wind blows, that would be the key factor to playing golf in East Texas. But yeah, no, not a whole lot of elevation. Should just be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you're from Texas, right? So tell us a
Right.
little bit about where are you from in Texas originally?
I'm born and raised in Houston,
Okay,
and then went to school in Waco and worked in Waco and Austin.
nice. And by going to school in Waco, he's talking about the Baylor University.
That's right.
So I can't believe you didn't throw that in anyway.
Well, I guess it's just a given, you know. Either someone's familiar with McLennan Community College or Baylor University. That's it. That's the list.
Yeah. So you played point guard, right?
Not in college. I was a point guard in high school.
Okay.
I hurt my back my senior year, and that ended the basketball career, and kind of opened the door for the radio career when I got to college.
Nice. I like it. You watched the Illinois-Tennessee game last weekend?
I cannot bring myself. I know this is terrible. I cannot bring myself to watch any college basketball until football's over with, and then I will dive just total all in to college basketball. But I can't bring myself to watch it while football's still going on.
That's fair. So I was at the Illinois-Tennessee game. Nathan Frazier, who is blowing up the chat a little bit, always does. Big Tennessee fan. They catch the ball, go the entire length of the court in 5 seconds. No one steps in front of him, stops the ball. Game-winning layup, game over. Lose by 2.
Wow. I remember when I was a boy watching Danny Ainge when he was playing for BYU, went coast to coast against Notre Dame in an NCAA tournament game. Same kind of thing in like 6 or 7 seconds to beat them in a regional.
So annoying. But is what it is. We're back to golf. So anyways, we got a couple more things to do. Next coming up, we got some rules discussions. Those are always fun, Chuck. I know you love those. We got a lot more content coming tonight. But first, we got a message from our friends at Worldwide Golf. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Get there.
Get there.
Get there.
Get there. Those 2 words are said by golfers all over the world as a sign of respect, a whisper of encouragement, a roar of support. It's what we say to our competitors, our loved ones, our heroes. It's what we say to ourselves.
Get there.
At Worldwide Golf, we're like you. We strive to improve our game, to elevate our standards, and transcend our limits. Our commitment is to the journey, to the tradition, and to the spirit of golf that unites us all. Since 1963, Worldwide Golf has been there to supply golfers with the equipment and apparel they need to drive their journeys forward. With over 100 retail locations spread across 10 retail brands and the best golf e-commerce websites, we have exactly what every golfer needs for however they choose to play. All of this done to help golfers who want to be their best get there. We are golfers, and we're here for golfers. We built a brand around evolving the game and having what you need to play your way, and it shows in every product we offer and every experience we provide. Our goal is singular, to help you get there. Though the game may change, our mission remains. To stand beside you, to grow with you, to celebrate every victory and learn from every shot. Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Cool. Well, we're back, Chuck. I feel like we should pick on Chris for this segment, but I'll be nice.
Dude, first and foremost, I am getting roasted in my own text messages by your wife, Lamoureux, everybody, because I'm on the live and, I'm just sitting here doing my thing.
Well, you're welcome to jump in at any point.
Dude, I can't top you and Chuck. I mean, you guys are 2 professionals.
Dude, how cold is it in your house? You're like layered up. We got a hoodie, we got a coat.
Oh, see, I'm at the office, and it's probably like 72 degrees in my office right now. It's a little chilly.
I'm saying I'm in the same office with the same heat, and I'm hot in this hoodie right now. And Chris is over here like a freaking
I mean,
Eskimo.
seriously, I'm just sitting there going, God, how freaking cold is it where he is?
Dude, the worst part is we try to get pictures of to give people pictures like the starting experience, and it's like July 12th, it's 110 degrees where we are, and Chris has a freaking coat on, and I'm like, well, I don't want people to think it's cold at all of our tournaments, so I have to take pictures of other starters and not Chris.
Yeah, I was rocking a hoodie at Stream Song over Memorial Day weekend.
Wow.
I'm like, the Gators are sweating, and here's Chris in a freaking winter coat. Like, what the? Anyways, let's get on to something more fun than that. USJ rules. Everybody wants to talk about this. I think it's interesting. Chris picked a rule for us, Chuck. We'll talk about it.
All
I
right.
think you got these. Neither one of us saw the notes before the live, so
No.
we're just thanks, Chris.
Without
I
a
love a
net,
good-
here we go.
I love a good rule surprise because when I'm out on the golf course, I'm not getting a script of what I'm going to get handed to me. So here we go.
Yeah, we can talk about some good ones. We can bring TPC Scottsdale back in on this example. An immovable obstruction against a movable obstruction. What's the difference? I think these are good. So I'm looking at his notes, but we got all kinds of good stuff to talk about that. Obviously, Chuck, the most famous of this ruling.
The boulder at TPC where Tiger brought in the crowd to literally move a boulder out of the way.
Yeah. Which, I mean, a movable obstruction is an obstruction that can be moved with reasonable effort and without damaging the obstruction or the course.
Yeah, I think the big controversy I remember about that was everybody said that he may have violated the spirit of the rule in that it doesn't implicitly say, but everybody just sort of thinks it is an obstruction that can be moved by you. You don't have to bring in a committee, because if you and I were out there playing, there's no way we could move that boulder. But Tiger's playing an event with 10,000 people right there. Hey, can I get 20 of you to come move this boulder for me?
Hey, I think it's innovation. I'm just saying. I didn't have a problem with that.
Look, you use the rules are there to be used to your advantage when you can. So, I mean, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm just saying that was the controversy surrounding it.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think it's interesting. I mean, obviously, technically loose impediment, not obstruction, because obstruction's technically man-made. Boulder's probably not man-made.
Yeah.
But it all works. Good immovable obstruction, cart path. We talk about cart path relief, immovable obstruction.
Right.
Movable obstruction would be like a rake.
Yes.
That's a good spot. Let's see what else we got.
Well, here's a good one, Matt. So when we go out to Big Cedar over at Ozarks National, they have those weird fences along the cart paths. That's a frequently asked question there.
Yeah, I'm really glad we don't have to answer that question this year because we're taking a year off from Ozark. We will be back though, so definitely a movable obstruction on the fence because it's like kind of permanently mounted in there.
No, it's very loose.
Oh, is it loose?
Yeah,
No,
it's definitely movable.
I don't miss fairways, Chris, so I didn't have to deal with it.
You took the year off from that one. You were getting ready to have a baby.
Yeah. Jody just put in the comments, he goes, just landed, boys. Thanks to Chris for covering for me.
Oh, Jody, we're in trouble, buddy.
This is like the Christmas.
Trouble.
This is like the Christmas edition of Hannity here. Jody's on vacation, so have fun at Pebble Beach, turd.
What do you think about? What are your feelings on the way the temporary the big controversy in the Pro Zone has the TIO, the temporary immovable obstruction? As far as those guys, they will literally aim for the grandstands because they know they're going to get a free and favorable drop. I hate that.
Right. I'll be honest, from playing some of those events, like I think professional courses play 2 to 3 shots easier with the grandstands up because you can't hit it far enough in trouble in so many of those holes. It changes
Right.
the whole perspective. Now, you played some of those tours with the grandstands less than the PGA Tour, like the Corn Ferry. You better be careful if you're sitting in those grandstands, because those guys aiming for it, they might hit it 10 yards long and knock you out sitting in there. I've seen that happen before working Corn Ferry events. So the Timo relief's interesting. This is part of it. Like, I'll just be honest. I'm an advocate for the USGA simplifying rules. And I think when it gets to
100%.
some of this stuff, that gets dumb.
Yeah.
Timo relief gets really, really stupid. You shouldn't deal with it on the APT unless you hit it under the starter tent.
Well, Matt, we've had to deal with it before, back at the John Deere, or not at the John Deere, but what were we calling it? We were at that golf
see Deer
course,
Run,
and-
yeah.
yeah,
Somebody
Deer
hit it
Run.
fine. Yep.
They hit it up under the stands, and that was something that we had to deal with in the moment.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Timo release fun. That's why there's a rule book so you can read it. Free advice for the rules. Get the USGA Rules of Golf app. It's completely free. So home run there. Here's the next one for you, though, Chuck. This is my favorite: the red penalty area against the yellow penalty area. Another one that drives me crazy on the rules
Well,
side.
and didn't the USGA try to simplify this and basically say it's all the same thing now?
They should have. That
I
would make
thought-
it easy.
I really thought they did. I thought that was one of the rules changes last year, is that yellow and red are treated the exact same way now.
No, they simplified it by they got rid of options. So the red penalty area.
I know what you're saying now. Okay.
Right. So red penalty area, your options are play the ball as it lies,
Right.
which, okay. You know what I mean? Most of the time. You can take 2 club lengths. So this is the extra between red and yellow, right? You can take the
Right.
point that it crossed, and from that point, you can take
club-
2 club lengths no closer to the hole.
Right.
You can also take the point across, draw a straight line between the hole, the point across, go straight backwards as far as you want, which you also get the yellow, or you can go replay the last shot that you hit.
Right.
Those are your options.
And
So
yellow, you
four
can
for red,
and
3
yellow-
for yellow.
yeah, yellow. Well, yellow, you can take it back as far as you want, just keeping the point that it crossed between you and the hole.
Yep, which you can also do with red, which sometimes behooves you. But I mean, the problem we run into, I'll be honest, and this is why we've got some local rules. It's always good to read the back of your rule sheet, because we cover some of this, because golf courses are getting less and less well marked.
Yes, this is true.
So there's a point at Heritage, number 18, where the whole green's yellow,
Yes.
and it should all be red for sure. So I'm like, thank goodness I hit in the red by like maybe 5 yards, because if I hit it 5 yards farther right, my drop would have been somewhere on 10 tee box across the pond. Like, it would not have been good. And so I'll be honest, I would love for the USGA to just make everything red. That would make life so much easier.
Yeah. At this point, again, sometimes as much as golf is doing a better job of simplification, they still get in their own way. It would just be easier just to have one universal thing and go with it. My thing is treat everything like a yellow. Whatever point it crossed the hazard, go back as far as you want, just keeping that point between you and your
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I mean, the lateral drop comes into play as well. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's interesting as you go through it, and as they try to simplify the rules over years and years. But the biggest thing I understand, the red gives you the option to take 2 club lengths. The yellow does not. Yellow is as far back as you want. Play the ball as it lies, or hit it from where you hit it before. A lot of times when you see yellow, you'll also see a drop zone.
Right.
You typically won't see a drop zone when it's red. There's
No.
the other piece of it. If there's going to be a drop zone there, it makes sense. But the biggest thing with red is understand red, you can take 2 club lengths relief, no closer to the hole from the point that it crossed. The other thing with red penalty area and yellow penalty area, it's always the point that it crosses, not the point where it ends up.
Right. Very important to remember that.
Very important to remember that. That is the key for people to understand the rule. It's the point that it crosses, not the point that it finishes. So there's that. Hole 5, jumping in, sticking with the rules. This is a local rule. Chris didn't put where we pulled this from, but this is USGA model local rule. The provisional ball for pace of play. There's one that is not covered in our local rules, and there's one that is covered in our local rules. And I think this is important. Chuck, I'll let you talk a little bit about this. First one is if you think your ball's out of bounds or might be out of bounds, what do you do?
Call provisional and hit the other ball.
Absolutely. And always hit a provisional if you think your ball might be lost or out of bounds.
There's nothing hurt from saying I'm going to hit a provisional and hitting it. Nothing hurt by doing that.
100%. And what do you have to do when you're going to play provisional? What's the one thing the rules require you to do?
I think declare a provisional and then let everybody know what the marking on the ball is.
There you go. That'll be good. And then, so the other thing too, if we want to talk about the intricacies of this rule is, let's say you think you hit driver off the tee and you think you might have lost your ball. So you declare a provisional, but you're mad. So you go back at your 7-iron and hit your 7-iron out there short of where your driver was. Can you hit your second ball with that provisional before you figure out if your ball's lost or not?
Well, I guess you can, but you would automatically be playing 4, but you have to search for the ball first. Because you've declared it a provisional, you must first seek out what has happened to the original ball.
Yeah.
Now, if you were just saying it's out of bounds, I am playing this as shot 3, that's a whole different thing. But you declared it a provisional, so you need to go find the first ball first and identify that it is indeed out of bounds.
So one of the little known rules is you actually can play the provisional up to the spot where your ball might be lost. So if your ball's farther away from the hole than where your ball might be lost, you can continue to play that provisional up for pace of play without any penalty. So
did not know that.
Yeah, very little known rule, but completely acceptable. We probably get 10 emails a year from somebody that watches somebody do this. It is completely incensed on Monday morning that they would do it, but it is completely legal.
Wow.
I can assure you. So I thought I would throw that out on the live so it's recorded at least one time that it is legal to do that. Now, if you hit your 7-iron out of bounds and then the driver down the middle, then absolutely you have to find the ball first. Right. You know what I mean? But little known rule. And then the other little known rule that is on the back of the rule sheet that I hope and pray that everyone reads, but you as a starter know that doesn't happen. So we got to talk about it on the live. We've put the USGA model local rule in that allows you to hit a provisional ball for a ball that may be lost in a penalty area to save time, which is a local we put in for pace of play. So, for example, I'm trying to think of a good example. I've used it once in the last year. We're playing a long par 3 over ravine, and it's yellow short and yellow left. It's like a 200-yard hole.
Okay.
And I kind of hook it left, and it hits up and kind of rolls down just kind of into the penalty area there, but it's yellow, which means my drop would be on the other side of the ravine, like 120 yards back. So I said, hey, guys, I'm going to play this as provisional. I don't know if I can play this ball down there or not. So to save time before we drive across the bridge, I'm going to hit a provisional. So I had a provisional up to the green, and then we go look for my ball. We find it in the penalty area. So what are my options at that point?
Well, you can play it.
Right.
And if not, it's actually in the penalty area. So you could, since you declared the second ball a provisional, you could take that ball back across the ravine if it was in a better position, as far as playing that third shot than your provisional off the tee, if you wanted to do that. Or since it's in the hazard, you could go ahead and play the provisional.
Right. So, so essentially my two options in the playing provisional for a penalty area is I either play the ball as it lies.
Right.
Or I've already taken my relief.
You've already taken it.
And then you go to it. Right. So I'm either going to go hit 4 from wherever, because I hit my third shot from behind. I'm hitting 4 or
hitting 2 from
or hitting 2 from where it lies. Those are your two options in playing from. So it's one of those pace of play things that's good. Chris Miner puts in chat, what if you play it past the first ball? You cannot play it if you play it past the first ball, that's the ball in play. From we're going back to the out of bounds provisional there. I think that's good. Aldo Rucci puts in the chat, what if you hit 4 straight balls OB at Bedford Springs? What do you do then?
WD.
Pickleball. You talk about UConn every week on the live in the chat instead of your golf game. How about that?
Hey, Matt, you muted your mic.
Oh, there we go. What about now?
Yep, you're
Now
good.
you're good.
Oh, goodness. Can't do anything right these days. We're going to be talking a lot about rules this next year. We're going to just be taking different things in the rule book, kind of explaining, talking about them. So bring your questions, all that good stuff. That's going to be a good little I'm watching the chat. I'm just laughing at everybody roasting Aldo Rucci. Max says, just go ahead and hit your 5th one out of bounds. So it's fair. Just give yourself the pace of play penalty for having to tee it up 5 times on the tee. But we'll be talking about rules a lot throughout the year, APT rules as well as the USJ rules, and kind of talking through learning those. It's going to be a good thing. Hole number 6. This is kind of fun one. Little Christmas sale in the APT Pro Shop, Pards.
Nice.
So, Chris, I'm going to let you cover a little bit of this. You're up, Star.
Yeah, no, this was something that Jersey wanted to include tonight. She couldn't join us. But today, right now, we have 50% off at Turtleson in our pro shop, which is honestly, it's a steal. You can access these discounts from your player's wallet. That's what's going on today. Tomorrow, we have buy one, get one half off hats through the app as well. Saturday, a 2-pack of 2 under for $30. You know, with the 3 of us sitting here,
Look
that
at Chuck's face.
a fantastic deal. Chuck, that's good.
No, look, hand to God. So one of the tea gifts for the major at Myrtle was, Captain Underpants set us up with each of us got a pair of 2 under, and I'd never had a pair. And I'm here to tell you, I mean, I didn't think at this point in my life I would be excited by underwear. But those are the best damn underwear in the whole world. 2 for $30 is a hell of a deal. Captain Underpants coming through for us.
Well, see, Chuck, you even said you haven't downloaded your pass yet. So that's some good motivation for you to do that.
I know. I have a lot to do. I got to download my pass and then go panty shopping. This is great.
So here's the deal. So people know, it's like, why do I have to get the pass to get the deals? So the 2 under 2 for 30 deal is so good that we can't publish it on the internet without putting a paywall on it. Like, we would get in trouble and they would yell at us. So we got a membership pass that all of our vendors are like, you can do whatever you want if you have the membership pass. So we can cut deals better than anybody else can, because we have a way to get them to you without publishing them on the internet and getting yelled at. So the 2 for 30 deal is the best you're going to see it all year. 1 day only on Saturday. We've got a ton in stock. It's going to be a lot of fun. So keep going, Chris. And then we got Sunday.
No, and, I'm going to go ahead and respond to Gus here. Gus says Chris needs to get the 2 under long underwear. Gus, I do have a pair, and those are also money. So for those colder weather tournaments, you guys should look into that.
And when Chris means colder weather tournaments, he said everything but, the tournaments in June when it's 110 degrees.
Matt, you're not wrong. Sunday's the last day of our holiday sale, but any purchase gets a free pair of 2 under Christmas socks while supplies last. So if you were down at the Myrtle Beach Holiday Classic, you had the sock underwear combo. I will tell you, to this day, I still wear the margarita socks that we had for the Lone Star Shootout back in year 1. I love the 2 under socks. They're great. They're comfortable. And also their patterns are the best. So that'll get you in the holiday spirit right there.
Great stocking stuffer. Anyways, we still got 3 more holes. We're through 6. The next, we're going to talk a little bit about Myrtle Beach, little Charlotte. What's going on, Chuck? Find a little bit more about you, why you're the pro that gets brought in the clutch for these things. But first, we got a quick message from our friends at Turtleson. So Chris put in the chat that the Lions are currently down 14. I didn't think they played tonight.
I didn't think so either. I don't know if Lamro knows what he's talking about or not, but
But we would
he-
need to check on Phil if that was the case.
he said Lions are down 14 already. Not sure what he's watching. It could be a replay.
Yeah, let's find out here because I'm pretty sure they play Sunday.
I thought that's what Phil said too, but
Yeah, right now the Broncos are playing the Chargers at 7-7 going into the second quarter. Pretty sure that's the only game on right now.
Yeah.
So whatever. But gotta love the check-in here. But we're here, Chuck, Mr. Charlie Nance, the radio pro from Charlotte, country music icon. That's all I got.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. You've already gone one step over the line.
But anyways, tell us a little bit about what you do in a day job. Obviously, you've got a fun job in radio. You've got to meet a lot of fun people. Let's talk a little bit about your day job.
Yeah, I've been in the country radio business since my, I guess, freshman year in college. So been doing it for 35 years. My wife and I have been married for 31 and have been doing the show together for the last 30. So we've done morning radio, and then for the last 19 years we've been doing afternoon drive here in Charlotte.
Very nice. That is a pretty impressive record. So
Yeah,
do
she
radio-
hasn't she hasn't killed me yet, and we've been pretty fortunate. They started doing some national rankings about 2 or 3 years ago, and currently we are the second most listened to afternoon drive show in country in America. So pretty cool.
That is really cool. Well, I know we were able to, and we'll plug this a little bit later. We did the APT Golf podcast down in Myrtle Beach together. So I got to spend a little bit of time learning more about you and what you've done. But one of the things you've got to do over the years in country music is you've got to meet and interview just a lot of different country stars. And
Yeah.
who's your favorite interview of all time?
Oh God. I think I told the story on the podcast. It wasn't necessarily my favorite interview in terms of, gosh, I really enjoyed this, but it was one that turned out completely different from how we wanted it to, and that was Carrie Underwood. God bless her. Wonderful person, but just a horrible interview. From the moment she won on American Idol, it's almost like she's reading her answers off a sheet of paper. All you want in an interview is just someone to be themselves. And, you want to hopefully make them forget that they're being interviewed and you can have a conversation. Well, she just made it impossible to do this. So after about 4 or 5 attempts, Debbie and I just said, to hell with it. We're just not going to do it again. And she had a new album coming out, and her record label called and they're like, hey, you want to talk to Carrie tomorrow? And they're used to everyone just going, well, of course. And we said, no, we're good. And there was silence on the other end of the phone. And they're like, what? We said, no, we're fine. You don't need to worry about us. That's fine. So then they called back the next day and offered again. No, you know what? God bless her. We wish her the best, but we're good. Day 3, I come in, my boss goes, okay, exactly what the hell do you have against Carrie Underwood? I'm tired of taking these calls. And I said, boss, she's a horrible interview. I just can't put myself through it again. It's just, he goes, look, you don't even have to air it. I don't give a, you know what? He just said, just interview her. Okay. And so at that point I said, well, if it doesn't matter if it even gets aired, we were going to turn it into a contest of, how fast can we get Carrie Underwood to hang up on us by asking something just so astonishingly inappropriate that she'll hang up. And we had a really funny intern that was working for us at the time. And I told her, I said, Jenny, I want you to come up with 5 questions that if you were Carrie Underwood, you would hang up on us for. And so she gave us, and I mean, we were laughing just reading them, and we got Carrie Underwood on the phone for the interview. And the first question was, how long were you together with your husband, Mike, the hockey player, before he took out his teeth in front of you? And did you show him what was fake on you? And we're like, okay, and I'm already got the stopwatch going. You know, we're going to do a contest out of this. She just starts laughing and gives us a great answer. And we spent the next 5 minutes going through every single one of these completely inappropriate questions, and she answered every one of them, and it was great. And we hung up with them. We're like, this isn't how this was supposed to go, but it was great.
Oh, it's fun that you actually can do that. Like, I feel like nowadays most people will be like, "Here's the 7 questions you're allowed to ask."
You know what? We're fortunate to be in a position where we would just say no. Look, you at this point, you got to trust us. We're not going to hang anybody out to dry. But there's never been anyone who's an intern at a record label dreaming up questions that's ever come up with a question worth asking.
That's fair. So, well, you also have a golf show.
Yeah, I
really
started doing Taking Dead Aim. At first, it was called On the Green about 12 years ago when we still had a sports station in the building. And I was doing that. And funny, the legacy of that particular show was it got started by Gary Williams, who then went on to the Golf Channel. He was replaced by Taylor Zarzer, who now does a bunch of stuff for ESPN. And then I took it over after Taylor. And then we sold the sports station and it became a podcast. And I had to change the name because the company that bought it had rights to On the Green. So Taking Dead Aim came about, I guess, 6 years ago or so. And so that's where it is now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, quick side note, because I know your last podcast I was listening to it was talking about people buying Live. Do you think Live gets the TV deal with Fox Sports done?
Don't be fooled by headlines that say Live in negotiation with Fox. You're not going to see them on Fox, but FS1 needs programming. That's the thing with all of these sports channels is if they're going to be going 24 hours a day, they need programming. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Live on FS1 every week, and occasionally when it's a dead time on Fox to see them pop up on a Sunday afternoon on Fox.
Makes perfect sense to me. Well, before we get into your APT history, you're no stranger to pressure. Obviously, you hit a pretty big cut at Quail Hollow last year. There's a video.
yeah.
We haven't talked about that. So you got to tell me about the putt that you hit, all the charity stuff. Tell everybody about that experience.
So the folks at Quail for the Wells Fargo Championship, for about 4 or 5 years, they did a media challenge over the Green Mile. And you could bring, I brought 2 ringers with me, and one of them me and Jeff Helms, as a matter of fact. And we won every year of doing that. I still have.
You brought him for a putting contest?
Oh no, this was the Green Mile Challenge. This is before the putting contest.
Okay.
So anyway, we would do the Green Mile Challenge, which was 16, 17, and 18 at Quail Hollow.
Right.
And you had to play it from the tips, but you got to play it as a 3-man scramble, each media outlet. And, whoever won a trophy and won $10,000 for charity. So we won every year. And so I got $10,000 every year for doing that. And I was doing it for the Children's Hospital. And then a year ago, they segued into turning it into a putting contest. And what they do, they take one of the large putting greens at Quail, and they sort of design a 9-hole putt course using noodles and everything else, and everybody comes out and does it. And the way it works is the winner of the putting contest wins $10,000 for their charity, and then the top 3 get 1 putt from, I guess it's about 20, 25 feet. 1 putt each at it, and that's for 40 large. And last year, no one won it. And then this year, I finished second in the regular putting contest. And so we went and the 2 guys went in front of me, and they both missed. But the second one had a real good line. He just didn't hit it. And so I picked the line, and I knew about 6 feet from the hole that it was nuts. And $40,000 for the suicide prevention here in the state of North Carolina. I lost a brother-in-law a year or so ago, and so that's become sort of my pet cause. And so we did it for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the North Carolina chapter, and got to donate a nice $40,000 check, which was nice.
That's pretty awesome. That's got to feel really good, man. Well,
It
congratulations.
really did. Really did.
It was fun watching all the coverage of it on the Facebook last year,
Yeah.
seeing all about it. So that's really neat. Well, it's been fun getting to know you the last couple of years. Why don't you tell a little bit how you learned about the APT? Obviously, first event was at Talamore in 2022. First time I met you, you were super quiet and reserved back then.
I still am. The shy
Right.
introverted me. Jeff Helms, who runs both the Charlotte and the Myrtle Beach chapter, he's my best friend, and we for years and years have played an event in February, a 4-ball event in Myrtle Beach, and it got started. We would just go down for the event, and then we backed it up a day, and then we backed it up 2 days, and eventually we just said, screw it, we're just going to take the whole week off, and we're just going to go play for the week and then play the event on the weekend. And then we got to the point one year of, well, we can't just drive down to Myrtle Beach. We have to play our way to Myrtle Beach before we play for a week. And in 22, he called and said, hey, man, I'm playing this event at Talamore, this amateur players tour thing. Why don't we do that? It's a 2-day event. It's a Stableford, and we'll go down. And I said, okay, what do I need to do? He said, we need to join APT. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So did that, and then went down there, and literally didn't know anybody but Jeff, and wound up just sort of middle of the pack after the first day, but then got really hot on the second day, and wound up winning the thing. So that was my introduction to APT, but it was really, really great. And I'll never forget. You love this story too. I didn't even know you got prize money. I didn't know. I was like, cool, I won. Okay, let's head to Myrtle Beach. And you're like, well, you won some money. And I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I won, $100, $200. And when you told me what I won, I was like, what? How does that doesn't sound legal? What are we talking about here?
Oh, the look on your face. I wish I had taken a picture.
I'm not stunned very often, but we can say, yeah, and you just sort of yada yada. You're like, yeah, you won $800. Like, what?
Hey,
Wow,
all I know is
okay.
Jeff ate really well the rest of that Myrtle Beach trip on you. So
He ate and drank well on me the whole week.
right. No, absolutely. So why don't you tell a little bit? Obviously, you're working hard in Myrtle Beach, in Charlotte, helping Jeff. What are you doing there? What do you like about it?
Well, he just took over Charlotte recently, within the last couple of months for Dr. Phil. And I helped him do his first event, but a lot of the events in Charlotte so far have been on Mondays, and I'm working, and so I hadn't been able to help him much. But when he bought Myrtle Beach, and that was in May of 23 was when he took over Myrtle Beach. The happiest I've ever seen Jeff is running APT. He absolutely loves running the tournaments and loves putting them on, and he and his wife really get off on it. But I told Jeff, because I saw how happy he was, I said, look, man, whatever I can do to help you facilitate this to be the best it could be, because we always recognized that Myrtle Beach could be so much more than what it was. And we just knew that if we put in the effort that we could make it happen. I said, look, I'll help you do it. And so starting with then, I started helping him coming down, and we're the ones out there at 5 a.m, and we've got another person that helps us, Beth Hunt, who's outstanding. We have our team really at Myrtle Beach, and we'll set up the course while he and Sherry his wife are getting everything ready for everybody to check in, and Jeff will do flags. And then most of the time at Myrtle, because of the way golf courses work, we split tee, and so Beth will start people on 1 or 10, and I'll start people on the other side, and then I'm the last group off on that side, and we go. So I'll play in the tournaments, but I help him set them up, take them down, and then I help as a starter.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, of course, Miner's put in the chat 7,000 yards. I got a deal for him. I'll give him $1 million for every time we've asked him to play 7,000 yards. He's got to give me $20 for every time we have it.
You could put Chris Minor at 700 yards, and Chris Minor would go, "Oh, Jesus Christ! What not 690? What are we doing here?"
Oh,
Chris, I love you.
I love Minor. I'll just say it. That's the deal I'd be willing to make. So, but no, it's fun. So, anyways, well, if you want to spend some more time getting to know Chuck, which I highly recommend you do, we had a great conversation. The APT Golf Podcast released on the 15th, so just a couple days ago. You can get it anywhere you get your podcast. Same thing. Listen to your podcast. Tell the people about it one more time.
Yeah, Taking Dead Aim, and you can get it wherever you get your podcast.
So, absolutely. The easiest places of those are Apple and Spotify, just so you know. There's a million, but Apple and Spotify are the easiest ways to find it. Anyways, well, we got a couple minutes for questions. If anybody's got any questions on anything, other than that, we'll see y'all after Christmas. And I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. We love y'all. Love all the APT people. Trying to keep you out of trouble, Chuck. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 28th down at Grand Dunes. That's going to be a fun event.
See you next weekend at Grand Dunes, which is great. Hey, you've played Grand Dunes with us, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love me some Grand Dunes.
Great course.
It is. Man, talk about a great schedule, man. The Myrtle Beach schedule is just absolutely solid across the board, man. It's so good. Every week's got a great event. And, Charlotte's got some great private clubs as well. So it's going to be good seeing you guys out there.
Yeah, we're really looking forward in Charlotte. The Tour Championship is going to be held at Jeff and I's club, Rolling Hills, which is a hidden gem. It was built by George Cobb simultaneously as he was building Quail Hollow in '62. And so if you like quail, you will love Rolling Hills.
Yeah, really, really good golf course. Got to play it with Jeff. Certainly will make you pay attention because you can hit it in the middle of the fairway and it roll off into problems when it's firm and fast.
The beauty of Rolling Hills is you can be in the dead center of the fairway and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe I've got this lie." Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun spot, great greens, good spot. Yeah. And oh geez, I'm starting to read some of these comments and I'm like, we got to sign off here. This is going to get Alderici's going to get inappropriate here pretty soon. So thinking of playing around in the Myrtle chapter, Mr. Cody Quattlebaum, which do you recommend? I'll let you go first, Chuck. I've got ideas.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got one coming up that I'm very excited to see again. One of my favorite, besides Grand Dunes, which is an outstanding course, and I can't wait to get back down there next week. But they've just done a renovation at Myrtle Beach National Kings North. And they have renovated the front nine. They closed down the whole course in May. And then they renovated the front nine all summer long, and they reopened the front nine in October. And so this will be our first look at the renovated front nine and then the back nine as it is. And then they're going to renovate the back nine like they did the front next summer. But Kings North and Myrtle Beach National is just a great, great, great golf course. One of the best par fives, most legendary par fives down at the Grand Strand is the Gambler, which I guess is the sixth hole that has a sort of a peninsula/island fairway to the left, or you can play to the right. And it's a fun golf course and really great.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just this last 6 event stretch in Myrtle Beach. And this isn't even counting Caledonia. We'll just do the last 8 rounds in Myrtle Beach. We'll include the major. Here's the courses: TPC Myrtle Beach, Caledonia, True Blue, Heritage Club, Tidewater, which got moved, Grand Dunes, Paulie's Plantation, and Kings North.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's a freaking who's who of where to play golf in Myrtle Beach. Any of those would be a stellar golf course and tournament to play in.
Yeah, so, I don't think about it because we put them on and we move to the next. But when you just started reciting them off, I'm just laughing, going, "That is such a sick lineup that we played."
It's pretty dumb. Let's just be honest. So, I just want to let since Minor's talking about 7,000 yards at Wild Dunes, the tee setup for him was just putting it out there. 58-44.
Potato. 58, 44,
Okay.
7,000.
It was blowing 30 miles an hour, so I do feel bad. And I heard from Yugi, the first 8 holes were downwind, and then it was in the wind the rest of the day, which is brutal. So
Well, that's
it's
like, you know,
playing in Scotland.
I know we have a major coming up at Kiowa, and I can't tell you the number of times that I've made the turn at Kiowa at anywhere from even to +2 and felt really good about my round. And then all of a sudden you turn into the wind at 10 and it just goes to hell until I get on 14 or 15. It's just awful.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just, I don't
Oh.
know, man. I just,
I have nightmares. I think that, like, if you've been a really bad guy and you're a golfer, like when your Dante's concentric circle of hell is playing Kiowa in a 30-mile-an-hour wind, just over and over.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I keep looking at Macklemore coming up in March, which there's some videos going around in the members group right now. You're getting the first videos of that place to keep. That is an absolute must play this year, is it the tournament at Macklemore? But the keep, so Highlands has got up and down through the trees, you know, your typical mountain course. And the keep, they went to the top of the mountain and they cleared off 200 acres. It's like a links course at the top of the mountain. It's absolutely
Wow.
stunning. But they're like, it can get really windy up there. So it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the closer you get to God, the more you can feel his breath.
Right. So, but anyways, it'll be a good time. And man, it's been fun. It's been fun having you on. I feel like we're gonna have to include you more often. We're having a good time.
Anytime, brother. You know that.
So awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas. We'll be back the 26th. Maybe we'll get Fegley to dress up in a Santa suit. You never know.
Oh, dear
It'll
God.
I know. Hey, it's a good time of year, man. But I hope everyone has a great Christmas holiday with their friends and family. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys after Christmas. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll take it out with a message from our friends at 2 Under.
2 Under. Quality fabrics, no roll waistband, Joey pouch, elevate and separate, no chafing. What more could you ask for?